Hey Leo, I have a reading for you today. The spread I've got is a past, present, and future, and it starts with the bottom of your deck being the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is, swords are intellectual cards in themselves, but the Two of Swords has a bit of a 5D component to it, a bit of an ethereal realm vibe to it. Because you see that moon up at the top, it implies intuition, and because she's got a blindfold on, it's like she's seeking intuition, seeking knowledge through her intuition. But she does have her feet firmly planted on the ground, so she's also still in the 5D. So that's the reason this card is considered a duality of sorts. Of sorts, not swords. But yes, she's seeking knowledge through intuition, which is pertinent to the remainder of your spread. I'll get there when I get there. First, in your past, we have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Death card. So the Three of Cups is generally a celebratory card, right? I don't always read it that way, but this time I do. It's like, if you see all the harvest in the background in the bottom of the card, you can see that they're celebrating an abundance of, in this case, in their case, it's food. And so I feel like there's a reason to celebrate some sort of abundance that you have achieved through breaking down some sort of barrier with the Nine of Wands. The first thing I got from that was like behind closed doors. Like maybe there's something you've done in the, I don't want to say in the shadows as if with a negative connotation, but maybe something people aren't seeing. Some sacrifices maybe that you are making, because the death comes next. And the death is an ending, but it implies that there's a new beginning with it. But to get that new beginning, there's sacrifices that have to be made. And so I feel like you've sacrificed something and broken down some sort of barrier to achieve this abundance that you reveled in the past. And this doesn't feel so distant either. It doesn't feel like the distant past. But it could be. It's going to be different for each of you. But then that brings us to the Ace of Swords in the reverse in your present energy. You've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, Page of Swords, and the Three of Swords. It's a lot of swords. Like I said about the two, swords are, they're air. Air is mind-related business. So the intellect, the ego, communication. In the ace is a new beginning. All aces are new beginnings, but this feels like the beginning of an idea. Like you've been given an idea, and you, in the reverse, you've nailed it down. Like, I don't think that it's necessarily considered past, but I don't feel any blockages or anything. So I feel like it's not like you're coming into a new idea in the present moment. I think you've gotten this already and you're nailing it down. And then the Page of Swords is telling me that right now you're in the, because you've nailed it, you're nailing it down, or you have, like, in the immediate recent present, if that makes sense. And so now you're at the Page of Swords step, where you're acquiring knowledge. This is a very intellectual idea or venture that you're working on, and you're in that beginning stage where you're preparing and gathering resources. And I feel like, though, that maybe this is going to sound so disrespectful, but I feel like maybe even your head is in the clouds a little. And I say that because the Three of Swords in reverse is next with it. Now, the Three of Swords is usually, in the upright, is a heartbreak, something just like devastating, right? Something that hurts you to the core. But being that it's in the reverse, similar meaning, but more akin to disappointment. So I feel like maybe this idea that you're nailing down, and making strides towards action, maybe there's some sort of disappointment in there, maybe. But no need to fret, because in your future placement, you've got the Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and Temperance. So the Three of Wands here is beginning, like the beginning steps of some sort of passion. It's the Ace is the spark. The Two is the plan, the idea. The Three is, getting it started, right? The phrase that typically comes along with that is putting your ships out to sea. So in the future, I can see that you're getting this started, getting something started. Maybe it's this idea that you're nailing down here in the present. In fact, I think it is, whatever that idea is, I don't know. It could be, school related. It is an intellectual idea. I don't know if I said that already, but that's, using your mind in any capacity. For example, I'm using my mind right now, trying really hard to. But then in the future, it's got you starting, making strides, starting this plan, putting it out to the world. That's a better way of saying it, putting it out to the world. And you're fighting for it. You're not backing down with the Seven of Wands. Like you're pushing forward, and you're standing your ground, and this is something you're passionate about, and you're showing it. It's very clear. And then that leads us to the Temperance. The Temperance is the alchemy card. She, turns whatever you turn things from into gold, right? what becomes gold? I'm not sure. But she alchemizes, which essentially means to change, right? So she changes things. And what it feels like to me is, with you putting your idea out into the world with this Three of Wands, and defending it with your life, basically, you're making changes. And maybe it's making changes to the world, right? I don't know if it's that deep, but maybe it's making changes to your own world. I don't know. But I'm going to pull some clarifiers and see if I can give you a little bit deeper information here. So I'm going to start with the past. Oh, that was quick. Judgment in reverse. Judgment is like rising from the ashes. It's that call that you're getting to make the change, right? to make this change. This is the call. It's in the reverse, though. Why it would be in the reverse, I'm not sure. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's an angel in the center of the card, and then people in coffins coming out of it, like a rebirth. Huh. Rebirth. But again, it's in the reverse. I'll have to come back to that. Or let me just get another card. The Three of Wands. It sort of just feels like it's in the reverse because it's in the past. Like, because maybe not, though. This feels like a very spiritual reading. I almost wonder if you have some spiritual gift that needs to come out into the world. Because I look at this Three of Wands, which you got the Three of Wands already in your future placement. So it might be emphasizing that this is the thing you sacrificed for. That you're sacrificing something for. But when I look at this card, all I can see is this man here. It doesn't feel the same as like putting your ships out to sea so much as looking out into like vast openness, and just seeing all there is to see. It's like he's looking out and you can just see everything from his viewpoint. And it's like it's sort of like he's just sitting there contemplating life. He actually gives me Doctor Who vibes. I've been rewatching Doctor Who with my daughter, and so I can't help but think about it. But like, look at him. If you watch Doctor Who, like, it's just like he knows everything there is to know. And I feel like this Judgment in the reverse has something to do with the sacrifice that you have had to make for this abundance. Maybe this abundance of intuition with the Three of Cups. I think you're being called with the Judgment. I think you're being called to make change of some sort. So, or you were. That's the past, okay? Don't let me forget that. The present is clarified by the King of Pentacles in reverse. Woo. King of Pentacles. All kings are masters of their suit. Pentacles are earth. Earth is anything in the physical realm, right? And I think that that's all it's saying. Like, it's not, this isn't the physical realm that we're talking about here. We're not talking about mastering the physical realm. It's giving me some serious woo-woo vibes here. So let's look at your future. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Again, like, it's not the king. I feel like it's not the king or queen. It's not, we're not talking about mastering or nurturing anything physical. I feel like that's the confirmation it's just giving me. And then clarifying your Two of Swords as your overall energy, which I said feels very like 5D to me, is the Nine of Wands again. This Nine of Wands I kind of struggled with in your past position here. but it just kind of feels like you're not letting anything stand in your way. So he moves this wand here out of where it's supposed to be. And in this one in your past position, he kind of looks like a little bit scared, and like he's using it to hold himself up or to defend himself with. But here he looks pretty sure of himself, you know? So I feel like you're not letting anything stand in your way. That's what it feels like. You know, mountains, I don't know much about religion or mythology or anything like that, but I know that mountains are considered like sacred places. Like it's places that can give you entrance into other realms, right? And this man, like where he takes that wand down, and it's in the other one too, but it's like he takes that wand down, and it's like that's the path to behind the veil, maybe. I think you might be looking behind the veil. Sorry if this is too woo-woo for you, but like that's what it feels like. You have access to behind the veil. You have you're using your intuition here, and there's something that you're supposed to be putting out into the world using that strategy there, or that strength rather, not strategy. That will make change. I forgot to shuffle these before your reading, so I'm sorry if it's loud. But I want to get you a Woodland Warden's Oracle card for two reasons. One is just, another form of well, I guess three reasons. Another form of confirmation. Also because it sometimes can have signs and synchronicities in it for you, and also third reason is it can kind of tell you what energy to be in to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Nothing wants to come out for you, right as I said that. Adaptability, the fox and ivy. Fox and ivy. Alright, I'm going to read this to you. Sorry if you don't like to be read to, but here goes. The fox and ivy, adaptability. Foxes are cunning, quick thinking, and clever. There's a lot of swords in here, so I think you are quick thinking and clever. When paired with ivy, a hardy plant that flourishes even in harsh environments, the fox reminds us to apply our cleverness towards adaptability. And it came out in the upright, so the upright says, allow the fox's ingenuity to guide you. Nimbleness and adaptability will suit you well in your endeavors. So, I hope that helps. I think that's all I've got for you, and I really hope to see you in the next one. That was a little tricky for me, but it was fun, so see ya.